So let's get down to it. Very welcome to everyone for the Monday webinar. Always nice to see you guys. We were just chatting about how I literally got home minutes ago, and I'm very glad I didn't have to do the live session from a Starbucks parking lot because, because it's actually happened many times. Oh man, too many times. The thing that really blows my mind for a 2-second rant is that I have to find a Starbucks in the first place. I probably need to get the little, mobile broadband thing going, but just haven't done it yet. I don't know why all these cities aren't just totally, completely Wi-Fi enabled. It's killing me. Anyway, yes, and the kids and wife were happy. Brienne said, we might have to stop, at a Starbucks. Have to go take the kids and run around for 20 minutes or something. And she said, if that doesn't have to happen, that'd be totally fine. So it didn't, and it was good. So we made it home. We're home, and I'm excited about these markets. I've been keeping an eye on things as best I could from phones and from various places over the weekend, overnight and throughout the day. Lots of very exciting things to talk about, so let's get right down to it. For anybody that's here for the first time, this is the Monday webinar where we discuss kind of the overall outlook that I'm wanting to see happen this week and some trading scenarios in correlation to that. We have live sessions a few times a day, every day, most every day, except Fridays, depending if it's a non-farm payroll or not. If you would like to see how these live sessions go and what we do and how we do it, feel free to go to that join link that I just posted there in the chat. You can get a 5-day free trial. You can visit us at daytradersfx.com/join. And you can get a nice little trial for all that and see how we this craziness, especially as we go into the pre-summer movement. So this is a pretty exciting time to be trading, especially over the next several weeks. So this would be a great time to have a look at the live trading group. Okay, here are some things that we're looking at. So far, we've seen a little bit of news already today from the RBA. We have quite a bit of news this week. It's a pretty heavy news week coming up. So Tuesday, some preliminary GDP numbers for the UK, which can definitely be a mover. We've got some Bank of Canada stuff coming, consumer confidence for the US, trade balance for New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to be pretty exciting. So we'll have live sessions tomorrow. Hello, Carolyn. Nice to see you. And then on Wednesday, we have more GDP news from the U.S. Then we have the FOMC statement and the interest rate. Ooh, just be ready. Tomorrow could break the internet, could break the charts. If there was any kind of surprise, which there won't be, but there might be, from the interest rate side of things for the U.S. That's on Wednesday. We're going to have a live session for all group members for this, so just plan on that. 11 a.m. Wednesday morning is going to be pretty interesting. Followed up, we've got New Zealand interest rate announcements. That's going to be pretty good because we're watching the Aussie New Zealand and the New Zealand dollar, in particular, so this could really get those two pairs going. Then we have some Bank of Japan news. Boom, boom, and boom. And then Thursday, we just have a million things happening on Thursday, but here's something important to remember. This is a little something that I want everybody, group members or not, traders or not, anything. I want you to remember this little detail. Typically, the last 1 to 2 trading days of every month is the end-of-month fix, the reconciliation of investments and foreign and domestic and blah, all that good stuff. Anyways, the markets move a lot. The second to last trading day of the month, but definitely the last trading day of the month. And it just so happens that we've got some big stuff going on with Europe on that day. So there's going to be some big stuff happening Wednesday, Thursday of this week. Just end of month activity. The regular end of month stuff is going to really blow up and just go crazy. So be ready for that. And then Friday we've got a little bit of news, but this is going to be a huge week. Just go ahead and completely plan on that. Now, let me also preface this by saying I pretty much don't care about any pair other than what I'm going to mention. I've looked at all these pairs. I've tried to really find good, exciting, interesting things, and I'm just so dialed in on dollar pairs right now. And of course, we're always keeping an eye on the Aussie New Zealand, but it's all about, at least for the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to have a huge impact on US dollar currency pairs. because of the big pre-summer movement and all of that stuff, and that's usually just a big dollar mover. I don't really see anything exciting going on in any other pairs. Aussie yen, Aussie Swiss franc, pound CAD, pound New Zealand, pound Aussie. I just see nothing really too worth looking at least for the moment, on those pairs. But I do see some pretty exciting things on euro dollar and the pound dollar and Aussie dollar. Dollar CAD's played out a good little bit. Dollar yen is looking very exciting, and New Zealand dollar is looking exciting. And these all happen to have pretty important news announcements this week as well. So let's talk about it. Euro dollar, we've been talking about this one quite a bit. And the euro dollar, it's safe to say that this has kind of just begun what could potentially be still a pretty decent movement. We have a nice lower high. We've broken out of a pretty long channel here. And the level I've been talking about over and over again is breaking 108.50 to work our way into 110.50. Kind of an initial first move of 200 pips. Well, we're above 108.50 now, so we're on our way. And hopefully we've got some entries. Hopefully you guys have gotten long euro dollar, but I'm very cautiously long euro dollar still. Even though we're above that 108.50 area, I'm still very cautious with this euro dollar because there's just so much unforeseen stuff with European Union activity that I'm just being very, very cautious. So we're long above 108.50, but cautiously long. 110.50 is going to be our next target. I think we have a very, very good chance of getting there. Overall, I'm looking for 11300 on euro dollar. From there, I don't really know how much higher we're going to see that one go. Maybe not any higher at all. Maybe the Fed continues to push off interest rates in the U.S. and that causes more dollar weakness. We'll see. But at this point, we're at least looking for 11300 to get hit. But our first initial target above 108.50 is 110.50. And that's this nice little resistance level right here. And of course, 110 will be a nice area in and of itself, but 110.50 will be a pretty good area to keep an eye on. Here's one thing to also note. For everybody, I want to make sure you guys are all seeing this as well. When you watch the when you go and watch the Monday webinars, I post Monday webinars right here. So if you go to Monday webinar, you can see attend webinar recording. Pretty straightforward. Here's a webinar recording of last week. There's a whole bunch of charts here, by the way. Here's a nice little pound dollar chart. You can see that 150 level. What do we think is going to happen above 150? A big move. Guess what? We're going to see that chart in just a moment. And I need to actually fix this link so it doesn't, so you can open it in a new tab. But all of these things are looking very, very excellent and very exciting. So just keep an eye on these. I'll post, just a couple of charts where you view the webinar. Right here, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're looking for, above 108.50, looking for 110.50, and then ultimately 11300. Beyond 11300, I have absolutely no idea, and I don't think anybody else does either. But I think that's a near-term enough target that we can look at that. But 110.50 is going to be the big kind of speed bump getting us there. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so as you saw on the charts, we've been talking quite a bit about the pound dollar as well. We've had some entries on the pound dollar. We've done some things with the pound dollar. 150 was our level, our initial level to get long. Pound dollar chopped around a little bit, but it finally got above 150. And now you can see it's at 152.25. So we talked about 150 last week. We're about 225 pips above that. We talked about two potential profit targets, this missed weekly pivot that just got taken out, which is 151.70. And now we have a little bit of activity up here around 152.95 and beyond. And so I'm looking for about 15300 is the next big target, which is only 75 pips away. And beyond that, I don't know where we're headed. We are pretty well due to take out the 200 moving average and the weekly pivot up here at 154.30, and that could be 15400 to 154.50 could be kind of our next target to aim for. I've been looking for 15300 and it's almost there, so we'll keep an eye on that. So this trade's pretty well underway. There's not too much to say about the pound dollar. If you're not already in it, then you've probably who knows what. Yes, and good point, Simon. We do have elections in the UK coming as well, so that could that always can mix things up. I always forget what happens during elections, but But it could definitely have an impact on things, so keep an eye on that. At this point, before the pound dollar hits 153.00, we pretty much just want to buy dips. So anytime this thing shoots down, dips down, does anything, just buy dips on pound dollar below 153.00. After it hits 153.00, I would not really be buying dips at that point. One thing to notice is that the pound dollar is off the lows by a good little chunk. This is, this could be pre-summer movement well underway. So we're several hundred pips off the low and holding so far. So anyways, we're looking for 153.00. We want to buy dips before 153.00. After hitting 153.00, we may still want to buy dips, but I don't know. We'll be cautious with that. And of course, I'll update on those details. Aussie dollar. Those of you that remember the Australian dollar, US dollar, we've been talking about this. This is even the same chart from last week, and I'm just going to move that arrow because it's a little bit in the way. But 78.40.50 is kind of the spot that we want to get long Aussie dollar. We want to make sure it can start getting out of this chop, getting out of this falling wedge, doing all of that. And working its way up. So from there, we're looking for the Aussie dollar to make it up at least into the 80 area. So from 78.50 to 80 is a decent little run. We've still got some pretty good numbers to push this all the way up into the 200 moving average, which would, by the time it gets there, it'd be around 81.50 to 8200. I'm still looking at all of that. So again, long Aussie dollar above 78.50. And it's already on its way. So here we go. We're going to be, as always, a little bit cautious with these. We don't want to let them dip down too much below their breakout levels. And we're pretty. We're going to keep an eye on all the economic news that's coming. We want to keep that in mind for sure all week long. But we do want to buy any dips on Aussie dollar as well. So it's pretty common for these breakouts to get pretty choppy. But let's just continue to buy dips on pound dollar and on Aussie dollar up. The Aussie dollar's probably got a little bit of a further run to go. Pound dollar's moved pretty quick, pretty strong. Aussie dollar's moved a lot less for some good reasons. But I think this Australian dollar US dollar pair's got another 200 to 300 pips that it should be able to go probably fairly easily. So let's keep an eye on that with the Australian dollar. Dollar CAD is played out nicely. This thing is broken out, and our ultimate target is about the 120 area. That puts us right about to that 200 moving average. There's a cluster of pivots and so on there. And it's gotten pretty close. It's down at 2090, 120.90 here, so we're just shy of 100 pips away from that overall kind of ultimate target. Anything at the break of this low right here, I would still be looking to sell rallies on Australian dollar, or excuse me, on US dollar, Canadian dollar pair. So if this bumps up a little bit, I'd be selling those rallies, trying to get into this thing at a higher price. Otherwise, we could probably get short once again below the break of this little double bottom right here. This is last week's low. Actually, this is 2 weeks ago low, and then our current week's low. So that's a far enough apart double bottom that it's something worth keeping an eye on. Last time we hit this level, we had huge price rejection off of it, but it really only went up just about 100 pips or so, and then it came crashing back down again. So a break of this big reversal candle should be a good continuation pattern for this pair to continue dropping. So getting short around 120.80 is not a bad idea, but also getting short above 121.50 probably is not a bad idea either. Getting this thing on a little bit of pullback and shorting it should be great, because we're still looking for the dollar CAD to make its way down into this 200 moving average, which is pretty overextended at this point. The 200 moving average sits at about 119.50, but 120 is going to be a pretty strong level. We'll probably blast through 120. We'll probably push through a good little bit that 119.50, but just in case we don't, we'll kind of look for some slightly more conservative profit targets there. So that's dollar CAD. Dollar yen is a favorite. Dollar yen's kind of been all over the place. We've got a couple of dollar yen trades in the group going right now, some nice shorts. And dollar yen is still kind of developing its mojo, and I still think dollar yen is going to be the most amazing short below 118.50. It's going to be pretty choppy above 118.50, but below 118.50, it's just going to continue to tank, hopefully, at least down into the 11600 area. So 115.50, 11600 is still a good target for me for dollar yen. So let's look for that 118.50 to break and that dollar yen to just drop like a stinking rock. But it's been pretty choppy above that level, and it's kind of just bouncing around in that. And Jan, I'll talk about that more with just group members. I'll update the notes and everything there with our specific trades. So, yes, but dollar yen is looking just super, super fantastic. So I really love this trade, and we will definitely have some updates coming on that for sure. We also have a trade running on this one that's been going forever and ever, and it's just kind of sitting a little bit away from our entry. Aussie New Zealand's making a nice little run. We've got big New Zealand news coming, so that's going to have a big impact on the direction of this. But I'm definitely looking for this Australian New Zealand pair to possibly start finally turning around and heading back up towards some of these missed targets and missed levels that we have. So it's broken out of a nice multi-month channel. It's doing pretty well in there, and I think we're gonna have some nice opportunities to buy some dips on the Australian, or excuse me, yes, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Always keeping in mind we have big New Zealand news coming, so we're gonna keep that, on top of our, in front of us here. But getting into some dips around 10200, 10215, I like a lot. There's some good support there now, and so that should be pretty good. So we'll be looking to buy some dips on Aussie New Zealand to trade up into, probably into the 105, 10600 area for the moment, and hopefully a bigger move up from there. Gold is a choppy mess. If anybody's trading gold, don't. That's my professional opinion there. Dollar peso, also a choppy mess. I'm staying away from that one. And New Zealand dollar, US dollar is looking very, very interesting in its choppiness, because especially with that coming New Zealand interest rate news, we're just basically exactly 100 pips from this high and this test of the 200 moving average and a huge double bottom and all of this stuff here. So I definitely want to be long above 77.50, at or above 77.50 on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. And I still think there's going to be some good opportunities to buy the dip on this one as well. So I'm going to be looking for that. Now, keep in mind, with the end of month fix stuff that we have coming at the end of this week, we could see huge pushes that could totally reverse everything. This is a very crucial time where everything looks like it's continuing on with the trend. The fundamentals seem to support all of this. Everything's looking good. But whatever happens at the end of this month, that end of month fix, is going to be very, very telling of what we're going to see all month long for May and for a good part of June as well. So the end of this week is going to be very important for trading. I'm excited about all week long. Tuesday's big, tomorrow's big, Wednesday's big, Thursday's going to be very interesting. It's just going to be a big, big week in trading. So yeah, and Bo, it's a good question. And before some of the big news coming, we're going to want to close out some of our positions and kind of cover some positions and do some of that. So we'll definitely be talking about that as we go for sure. So it's going to be a big, big week. Simon. Well, Thursday should be good. Friday, things will probably be done and over with, maybe. But Thursday should be the big day. Wednesday and Thursday should be the two big days. So we'll be ready for that. We'll be ready to rock and roll. We have some very, very good things in the works. I'm super excited about this week, and I'm very excited to see you guys again. And we have lots of stuff coming up. So big updates coming for group members. This is the overall update for everybody. But for group members, we have a lot of very fantastic specific things coming, and so on. And Ralph, since you are a group member, yes, there will be lots of pending orders coming. But for everybody, yes, get pending orders going. Start actively trading some of these things that we're talking about and looking at, because we have some really, really good setups in the works. So yes, and Linda, yeah, to just look at the dollar Swiss franc. I've been watching this one, and I just have nothing on dollar Swiss franc. It needs to break some levels. We just got some chop. We've had, after this huge movement and all that craziness, I have no real opinion on dollar Swiss franc just yet, except for if we see more dollar correction, we might see some more Swiss franc, weakness here, and this pair could, Swiss franc strength, and this pair could continue lower. So we'll keep an eye on that. Definitely a break below that 200 moving average on the daily chart could start getting interesting for this pair. So right in that general vicinity there. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch it. But we have some great stuff coming this week, guys. Lots of news events, lots of things happening. Definitely looking forward to it. Have a wonderful week of trading, and group members, we have lots and lots and lots of stuff coming. So watch for those updates, and for everyone else, have a great week, a happy week, a successful week, and we'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks.